still.
A vaccine is currently about to be voted on so that Americans can begin to take the vaccine. Are you going to take this vaccine?
Never. No, sir.
No.
I need to see. I need to see. I'm not going to be the experiment. Um, I am thankfully, I am immune compromised, but I am not going to be that guinea pig. I'm going to wait. I'm going to let the people that really, really need it be first, and hope and pray that it actually does work. But I'm very. I feel like I should have like metal wrapped around like my house, like like I conspiracy theorist, in a sense. I do not. I don't know how it's so quick, and if it is so quick, then that means they made it. If you can find it that quick, somebody helped manufacture this. This happened in a lab by accident, and they were like, "Oh snap! Oops! How are we gonna fix it?" And I saw somebody post, well, if they could find a vaccine for this, but no cure for cancer, for HIV, and the such. Well, those are lifelong, you know, buyers. Like they're lifelong consumers that are trying to maintain their lifestyle. So it behooves them to not necessarily find something and be that quick with it. Um, so yeah, I don't trust it. I'm not going to be the first one. I don't take the flu vaccine. We're good. I don't need it. I don't need you to infect me so I can stay safe. I'm gonna stay safe because I'm gonna stay healthy and stay safe.
I don't take the flu vaccine either. It's been a while since I've taken it, but I'm definitely going to take this vaccine. And I know that I'm not going to be the first person because they're not going to offer it to me. It's going to be offered to the healthcare workers and then the more like immune compromised people and then essential employees, which I fall into. So I think there's still going to be so much time between when other people are able to take the vaccine and see what happens and I'm able to take it. So I'm so over this and I'm ready to get back to some semblance of normalcy and uh, I was at work today and I was just looking around and like I work at a grocery store, so everybody has to wear a mask. Employees, customers, vendors that come in. And this has been going on for almost a year now. And I just stood there and was looking at everyone in their masks and thinking, like, if I could see this right now, 5 years ago, I wouldn't want to be here. I wouldn't want to be here. And I don't want to continue to live like this. So if taking that vaccine is going to help us get past it, I'm all about it.
I would agree with Jasmine that I am probably going to be taking the vaccine because I do want to get back to a sense of normalcy and feel like I have control over my life again and want to be able to go out into public and not feel endangered even while wearing a mask. You know what I mean? Like I work in retail now, and during Black Friday, I worked that day and I was like horrified. I went and got tested like as soon as I could afterwards, even though like I was wearing my mask, I was washing my hands, doing all that stuff. But just like the idea of being like, I work at the crossing, so at the crossings, it's like a hub of people and all this stuff got me really worried. And I understand a lot of people's apprehension to take the vaccine, though, particularly like Black people, because I know like our history with things like the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. If you guys know about that, it's like a whole can of worms. So I understand culturally why our people do not want to be on the front line.
I get it.
Anything to do with that. But I do see it as kind of the only way to get back to a sense of normalcy. Not everyone needs to take it, but I think that we need to get enough people with it so that this issue becomes a non-issue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's already been like given to an ample amount of people. Like they wouldn't be able to come out and say it's ready for mass distribution unless a certain number of people already took it. And there's no one, to my knowledge, coming out with a squirrel growing out of their neck or anything like that. And if they are, they're like locked up in Area 51 and we will never hear about them. But yeah, and my mom also works in healthcare. She's a respiratory therapist. And from my understanding, like Jasmine was saying, healthcare workers are, and this may serve to be a problem if the vaccine is not as all we hope it is, healthcare workers are going to be on the first line of people taking it. Which I understand because they're the most exposed, but at the same time, if there are unforeseen consequences, we're going to give it to all the people who know how to heal us. And wipe out a percentage of them, even though they're already like struggling with the workload they're doing. So it's kind of like one of these things where it's like, you know, the only way to move forward is to take a step in some direction.
Right.
I was talking about. Sorry.
No. What about you, Brandon?
I don't know. That's why all I said was Tuskegee. I am overwhelmed by it all, but at the same time, like you guys, like I cannot continue to live in this world like that. And it's just not good for anyone's mental health. It's I don't know. I don't know what to think. Maybe perhaps I'd take it. That's probably the only next time I'd like to be in a room full of white people is if I see all the white people taking it and then I can take the same drug that they're taking.
You stand in between some of them.
Yeah.
You know, you don't like you're not gonna let 50 in and then I'm like 51. No. I'm gonna stand right in the middle of the wave.
Exactly. Make me number 30.
And I might even use Becky's arm and then switch my arm in the middle real fast. Like I'm gonna do a bit like, you know, I'm vehement about it today, but then at the same time, I have to think that as a mother, that my 3 humans are they need to be outside. They need to hear laughter. And that's what's, you know, this is what the pandemic has done. We're going through this thing called skin hunger. You know, where my heart aches for anyone that is home by themselves, that doesn't have anybody to hold them for a few seconds. I hug my kids so much. They are so tired of me. They can't walk through the kitchen and not have me grab them. I'm like, get over here, baby. And she's like, ain't another hug, but they like it because, you know, I'm warm and I'm soft. So I'm just like, get over yourself. But, you know, some people that are not hugging others, not touching one another, it's doing things to their psyche. It's doing things to their spirit. You know, it's not just affecting the physiology of the human being, but the emotional and the spiritual of people, and then communities. You know, when we left work on March the 17th, my boss said, I can't believe we're doing all of this to only be home for a few weeks. And I laughed and I said, oh, no, honey, we're not going to, no, it's going to be a while. And he said, you think so? I was like, oh, I know so, because unfortunately, there's no sense of community. It's you know, it's I, me, mine, opposed to us, we, everyone. Because if we had that sense of ownership where we have that attitude of brotherhood, where we have to take care of one another, we have to be healthy. Can we talk about how nasty were people before, when you have to realize that they had to wash their hands? And they make it a big deal about washing their hands. I'm like, really? How nasty. That's why I don't eat people food. I'm like, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, because I sit there, I washed my hands throughout my whole life. That was something my mother always told me. Florence, wash your hands. I'm like, okay. So, people are washing their hands and like, oh my God, I wash my hands. I'm like, ew, what were you
Yeah.
doing? You were just wiping it on your shirt and said to yourself, I'm good? Like, ew.
And like,
But
here's my problem. One thing that this pandemic has definitely made me realize, and like even like over this call, I touch my face so much. I
Yes, me
touch my face
too.
so much. And when I'm at work, I have to like consciously be like, do not touch yours. Don't do it. Absolutely don't do it.
yeah. Yeah, and I think being actors and performers, we do that. Like our
Mhm.
faces are, our canvas, and it's just like, well, look at it. And I just like you, I realize that too. Um, the pandemic worked for my husband because he doesn't really like people and touching people. So he was always telling people up to before that he had a cold to not have to shake hands with them. Like they would reach out their hands and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and his voice, he's like, "I'm so sorry, I have a cold," and he'd be like, oh, "Okay." So this, he was like, "Bang!" He was like, "I don't got a shake. I just got an elbow bump from that one. I'm good." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "I told you people nasty, Florence. You don't listen to me." He was like, "People sitting here wondering why they have to wash their hands so many times." He's like, "Nasty."
Mhm.
So, I mean, I say, no, I don't want to be experimented on, but at the same time, I need my children out the house. I need them to thrive again.
Like you said, I think humans are meant to be communal people. And like, I can definitely like in myself and other people, like it's really getting to me not being able to like do things that I want to do or plans that I've had being canceled and whatnot. Like at first I was like, oh, this is cute. This is like a little reset. And like I'll be able to like have some time off work and it'll be like great. I'll read some books, I'll watch some Netflix. But how many months in is it now? I'm like
9.
Could have had a whole baby by
A
now.
whole baby and working on another one.
Could have had a whole ass baby.
Whole baby. I'm like, everybody talking about all these COVID babies. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, mm-mm.